He kōna ipurangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
Hello, I'm Simon Morris. What's the point of comedy? At the time when there seems to be more of it about than ever before, TV panel shows, late-night talk shows, endless podcasts, and virtually every performer right now has stand-up comedian in their CV. What's it for? Is it for anything? Is it enough that it just takes our mind off things for a while?
You don't realize conditions have changed. There isn't any work, there isn't any food. These are troublous times.
What do you know about trouble?
What do I know about trouble?
Yes, what do you know about trouble?
What do you mean, what do I know about trouble?
Just what I'm saying. You want to make a picture about garbage cans. What do you know about garbage cans? When did you eat your last meal out of one?
Well, that's certainly the idea. Troublous times aren't likely to go away anytime soon, but these days comedy seems to have become weaponised. In America, it seems angrier than ever, aiming less to entertain than to deepen divisions in the so-called culture wars.
Well, you're American, okay?
Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
Still, as Dame Edna Everage used to say, it would be a sad old world if we couldn't laugh at each other. And let's face it, mocking our masters has been a popular pastime for centuries, with greater or lesser success depending on the mockers, and I suppose the masters.
I'll put my foot down, so shall it be. This is the land of the free. The last man nearly ruined this place. He didn't know what to do with it. If you think this country's bad off now, just wait till I get through with it.
Groucho Marx, rather lighter on his feet than most. But is that all comedy can do? Point jokes at people and stand well back? Perhaps there's a difference between comedy and a sense of humour. One's a job, one's a way of looking at the world perhaps, and sometimes comedy at its best allows us to see something serious in a fresh light, just for a minute or so.
I don't want you to think I'm a drinker. I can stop any time I want to, only I don't want to, especially when I'm blue.
We understand.
All the girls drink. It's just that I'm the one that gets caught. Story of my life. I always get the fuzzy end of the lollipop.
This week, 3 films about serious, sometimes very serious subjects. The Roses is a deliberately lighter take on a 1989 ultra-black comedy called The War of the Roses. Divorce at its rawest was the theme, what comedian Robin Williams famously described as from the Latin word for ripping a man's genitals through his wallet.
The other day I did think if Charles Manson invited me on a picnic and if you invited me on a picnic, I'd go with Charlie.
Charles Manson?
Yeah, Charles Manson on a good day.
What, a jamming with the Beach Boys day as opposed to plotting a murderous rampage day?
This version wonders if ultra-black is the only available colour of comedy. Meanwhile, a smaller American film takes on a subject even less susceptible to jokes, you'd think. Yet comedy actor Ava Victor's Sorry Baby does something unusual with a traumatic experience.
Something pretty bad happened to me.
Did it just happen?
No. It was a little over 3 years ago.
Well, that's not that much time.
And finally, a serious approach to comedy by the masters of the brilliantly engineered farce, the French. How to Make a Killing, this year's Laura Calamy comedy, is a classic example of the classic form, like a soufflé built around a Swiss watch. But first, let battle commence. The Roses.
We are done.
I say when we're done.
I just want the house. I built it.
Oh, you're not having the house.
We want everything. And he walks out of here with his face still attached. Right, Bruno?
The original War of the Roses, starring Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner, was hilarious in the worst possible way, thanks to the heartless direction of co-star Danny DeVito. No punches pulled, no quarter given. It was war to the end and to the death.
When a couple starts keeping score, there is no winning. It's only degrees of losing.
I am the one who found this house. I bought everything in it.
With my money. It's a lot easier to spend than it is to make it, honey bun.
You might not have made it if not for me, sweet cakes.
So when Austin Powers director Jay Roach announced a remake, it was generally expected to be a bit feeble. This one is still set in California, though stars Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch are both allowed to play English.
For you, dear, I'd do anything.
I do believe that's true.
It really is.
Before they met, Ivy was a jobbing cook, while Theo was a wildly successful architect. They fall in love and take off to the States. Theo designs a prestigious museum. Ivy sets up a small seafood restaurant. They have 2 adorable kids.
Theo Rose, my favorite architect. How's married life?
The kids are amazing.
We're going to the beach!
Right, don't drown.
And then, in the blink of an eye, the weather changes. Literally, in fact. A storm destroys Theo's museum and his career plummets drastically, and the same storm drives a crowd of food influencers to Ivy's restaurant. They love it, the word gets out, and suddenly she's the superstar of the family.
You got fired.
Fired?
I sense trouble.
How was your day?
The neighbour's dog shat in the laundry. The kids have got knit together. My left eye's twitching.
More champagne for me, please?
And it's safe to say neither of them handles their change of fortunes particularly well. Without a job, the usually buttoned-up Theo throws himself into bitter resentment and turning the kids into little versions of him, while Ivy revels in the rock and roll lifestyle and a few years of me time.
Yeah, I know, I should have rung and asked.
Well, that would have been nice.
And then I thought, ask what, for permission? Because we just want to be the couple who love each other and allow each other to grasp the chances life gives us, do we not?
Yes, rhetorical and entrapment. But yes, no, of course we do, yeah.
In the hands of, well, virtually anyone else, these characters will be heading for the easy target stereotypes that generally populate American Battle of the Sexes comedies. But they're not in those hands. After several years of being in everything, I'd forgotten just how good both Coleman and Cumberbatch could be.
One, he has arms. Well, I saw a documentary once about a man without arms, and it looked like a difficult life, particularly for the partner, so I like that he has arms.
Yeah, it's fair.
Because they're both naturally funny as well as great actors, they don't have to work at the jokes. They just play the characters as they're written, and this was a bit different, as likeable as they possibly could too. As you can imagine, this becomes a challenge once the rot starts to set into the marriage.
Everybody seems to think
We hate each other? I suppose sometimes I do hate you. Sporadic hatred.
In the original War of the Roses, once battle is joined, the film took gleeful pleasure taking each hostile step to the next awful level. By contrast, The Roses keeps offering hope to the couple that it could conceivably work out, even when Ivy and Theo cross the line into divorce territory.
Isn't this a bit of a weird cliche? You know, the ferocious divorce lawyer thing?
Ivy, is this him?
Yeah, this is him. My name's Theo.
Ironically, in a film about a warring couple, the support characters, Ivy and Theo's American so-called friends, are so much less likeable than they are. These are couples who choose to stay together for all the wrong reasons, it seems.
tarragon, it adds a bit of bitterness.
Ivy likes to leave a little bit of herself in everything she does.
I love this fun banter you guys do. We should try it, Sally.
Cry like a baby, like you did when our dog died, dickhead.
Whore.
That is so cool. See, this is why I don't have friends.
Kate McKinnon in particular leans into making the predatory Amy as vindictive as possible to poor Andy Samberg. But meanwhile, even at the height of their hostility, and it gets pretty high, it's hard not to note that Ivy and Theo are often amused by each other's excesses.
You're just making me madder!
I get this wart.
Jesus, no.
Of course, in the last act, the excesses start turning up to 11. If I have a complaint, it's that many of the best sight gags feature heavily in the trailer, and goodness knows it was a trailer that got a fair old thrashing all year.
Things are getting a little out of hand.
Well, you think?
But it was still a film that gave me far more pleasure than I was expecting, thanks to not just the 2 leads, but also to a literate, funny and, believe it or not, decent script about relationships by scriptwriter Tony McNamara. He wrote The Favourite and Poor Things.
It's not funny.
That's actually quite funny.
I see so much resentment. defensiveness, an inability to apologize, to share your vulnerability.
Oh, in his defense, he is a whiny baby, so that's vulnerabilities.
Well, personally, I enjoyed The Roses rather more than either of those Oscar-winning films, but maybe I was just in the mood for a good comedy this week.
Are you actually allowed to say that?
That seems unprofessional.
Yes, like malpractice.
Ah, we'll be expecting a hefty discount.
Sorry Baby is an independent American film in which it seems everything that could go right with it did. And the many more things that can usually go wrong for a film, written, directed and starring an unknown talent, Ava Victor, unaccountably didn't. The best thing that seemed to go right for it was the COVID lockdown, giving Ava a chance to put some thought into it.
And then some ways people treat you are not that way. I can feel in my body that it was really bad.
Sorry Baby opens on a subtitle, The Year with the Baby, over a rural house in New England where Agnes, Ava Victor, greets an old university friend, Liddy. Liddy's married, about to have a baby. Agnes is rather drifting.
Oh my God! I made it! Do you miss me, even though you're married? So grown up. It's so grown up.
They have dinner with some fairly ghastly ex-classmates. This seems to be a week for bad American friends. And then back home they address the elephant in the room, or rather the elephant from 3 years ago, the year with the bad thing.
School was like, oh, grad school was, oh. I like it here, though. Are you sure?
Back then, Agnes was doing a postgraduate in English. She was a little smitten by her professor, who was very flattering about her thesis. He invited her home. His wife was away. Do you need us to draw you a picture?
That's a lot, right? Still being here. Oh, it's a lot to be wherever.
Which is pretty much how writer-director Ava Victor covers what happens. We see nothing, a time-lapse shot of a house, a hasty exit, but we know everything. Agnes tells a shocked Liddy what happened and then goes off to set fire to the professor's office, for want of a better idea.
What are you up to this fine evening?
I was wondering, do you have, like, stuff that makes a fire?
Why do you need it?
My friends and I were gonna make, like, hot dogs.
Hot dog sounds good.
I'm sorry, we only bought 2 hot dogs.
And that's where we know we're somewhere special, because for all the potential horror of the situation, it's not played like that. It's treated as human, even shockingly as comedy. Incidentally, that's Agnes's neighbour Gavin, who'll come in handy eventually after a year or so of healing.
Yeah.
Gavin!
Agnes?
Liddy.
Oh, you're Liddy. Oh my God. Okay, I'm so sorry. This is the weekend.
Yeah.
My mistake.
No problem.
But before that, Agnes has a way to go. She needs to see someone, maybe a helpful male doctor. Except when this one proves less than sympathetic, Agnes and Liddy turn to the in-house women consultants.
I know this is hard to talk about.
It doesn't feel that you know that.
We know what you're going through. We are women.
What?
Who turn out to be only interested in protecting the reputation of the school now that the professor's conveniently resigned. The two women are both infuriating and hilarious, by the way, but it's Agnes's what that sells the gag. It was a matter of principle for Ava Victor that the old feminist trope of women are always right, men are insensitive slobs got very short shrift in Sorry Baby.
Gavin, you actually live over there.
Oh, yes, I live there. Oops.
That's okay. Sweet dreams, Gavin. God bless your lost soul, and have a good night.
It's nice to meet you, Liddy.
Me too.
Actually, the two most helpful people, if not necessarily most sensitive, are both men. Gavin, the neighbour, is always there, if not always exciting company. And when Agnes is spurred into a panic attack after being bullied by a colleague at work, it's snack bar owner Pete, a lovely cameo by John Carroll Lynch, who offers a bit of perspective.
I know you're scared,
But you're okay.
There's some ways people treat you like you're a person who lives and breathes and thinks for themselves.
As I say, everything that could have ruined it, the police are called in, nobody believes her, the villain humiliates her, sorry baby, the permanent trauma. None of that happened in the film. I believe Ava Victor, like Agnes, let the serious but well-trodden plotline marinate while COVID raged outside. And it and Ava's impressive talent were allowed to do the job on Sorry Baby.
Okay, I'm going to get coffee. Do you want me to pick you up?
Incidentally, there are two babies in this film, neither of them Agnes. Liddy does have her baby, another The Year with the Baby, who gets the benefit of Agnes's touching monologue at the end. And, you may see it on the poster, there's an abandoned kitten who gets a home.
Did you bring a cat into the grocery store?
No.
Yes, you did.
What did you say?
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Is your cat food?
After a successful launch at Sundance, Sorry Baby is now played at all the major festivals to general raves, not because it's a trendy topic, or Ava Victor's a hot new talent, or people love kittens, but simply because it's really good. No apology needed.
I got a cat.
Whatever you need.
If there's a French equivalent of English actress Olivia Colman, it's probably the equally popular Laura Calamy. She made her name in the TV series Call My Agent, playing that all-too-French character, the mousy secretary with a crush on her boss, who suddenly gets what she wants.
Quand il va sentir ça, ton ours, ça va lui rappeler l'été. Ça va piquer dardard, tu vas voir. Ils se sont perdus en forêt, l'ours leur est tombé dessus, et là, paf! Accident forestier.
And Calamy's been playing that role in 1 or 2 movies a year ever since. Films like Antoinette and the Cevennes, 2 Tickets to Greece and It's Raining Men. Well, this year's outing is called How to Make a Killing. Well, that's what it's called here. At home, it's the more graphic A Bear in La Jura, an alpine district where Kathy and her husband Michelle own a struggling timber yard. A few days before Christmas, the taciturn Michelle is driving in the hills when disaster, a big black bear. He swerves to avoid it. And in avoiding it, he skids into a tourist couple parked nearby, accidentally killing both of them. Shock. And more shock when he discovers a bag full of €2 million in their car. So he goes home to tell the wife, being that sort of person.
Michel, viens voir.
Qu'est-ce qu'on fait?
Oh là là. C'est beaucoup.
C'est combien? Beaucoup.
And while Laura Calamy as Kathy will be providing much of the performance horsepower in How to Make a Killing, the brains of the outfit is deadpan Frank Dubosc, who not only plays Michelle, but also wrote and directed the film.
Monsieur. Oh, merde.
It's a French farce of the old school in which everything leads to something new. The bear, the crash, the 2 bodies. Don't worry, there are more bodies to come. The Pakistani refugees escaping the bear. The police on everyone's tail.
Cathy Michel, la nuit du 21. Est-ce que vous avez entendu ou vu des choses qui vous paraissaient anormales?
Anormal, c'est-à-dire?
2 hommes, une femme, du miel.
Oh là 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 là.
And don't forget, this is all taking place in the Alps at Christmas. The police investigation has to keep being put on hold to make room for family dinners, and nobody has quite enough money to cover the expenses.
Quand on dit l'argent ne fait pas le bonheur, on parle de quelle somme exactement?
2 millions. C'est une somme.
On va le cacher. On n'y touche pas.
Et les corps, qu'est-ce qu'on en fait?
On réfléchit, je te dis.
Law-abiding Michelle wants to confess all, hand over the money and throw himself on the mercy of the police. Kathy is made of sterner stuff and wants to hang on to the money for as long as possible, if not longer, particularly when they discover the 2 accident victims weren't innocent tourists, but notorious gangsters.
L'abdomen éclaté. Pardon, Cathy.
Vous avez trouvé des empreintes?
Bon, ça va pas tarder. Dans ces cas-là, le coupable laisse toujours un indice.
On trouvera. On trouve toujours.
People smugglers, perhaps, the Pakistani refugees, remember, or something more drug-related. Meanwhile, the secret stash of €2 million keeps moving around like a big pass-the-parcel, and everywhere it goes, it keeps getting a little smaller.
C'est l'histoire de la petite fourmi qui voulait manger la baleine. Je crois que l'histoire est dans le titre.
Il va finir par y avoir plus de morts que d'habitants.
As the plot thickens, and believe me, I've barely stirred the pot-au-feu of How to Make a Killing, it gets increasingly farcical and increasingly French. When Kathy and Michelle need an alibi, they decide to call an old school friend, Sabine, who runs the local swingers nightclub. Well, I think it's unlikely that an Olivia Colman comedy would feature long scenes of writhing nudity with graphic genitalia on the wall behind our bourgeois couple, or feature the sudden arrival of a hitman called the Iroquois, who looks like a young Alain Delon. How to Make a Killing is long for a comedy, pushing 2 hours, but it never flags. All the characters get what's coming to them, good or ill, and for David Attenborough fans there's a particularly striking European black bear, quite a different shape to the American varieties we're used to.
Qu'est-ce que vous faisiez la nuit du 21?
On était au Cupidon.
La boîte échangiste?
Le jeudi, c'est soirée Bang Bang.
Gangbang.
Gangbang.
And for me, it was worth the price of admission to see Laura Calamy and Frank Dubosc trying to convince the police they're enthusiastic patrons of the Cupid Club, particularly Thursday, gangbang night. Well, I can't top that, so it's time to go. I'm Simon Morris, and I hope you'll join me at the movies, same time next week.